Hi, it's Esther from Nevada. I wanted to say hi to you and say this will be a short podcast. Why? Because my hand is hurting. Too much knitting cotton. I wanted to say we have new members. Christine David, Sandy Donaldson, Darling Cloud, Tracy H., Terry Wynn, Fanny Larkins, and Liz K. 1216. She didn't go through school with that name, I hope. That would be something. I knitted too much and too much cotton. I wanted to finish the sweater I was making to show everyone, and I just killed myself. I didn't exactly finish. I didn't do the neck, but the rest is all done. The sleeves and the sweater, and there's multiple things wrong. First of all, you could fit 2 of me in it. It's too big. I didn't do a gauge swatch, no. I thought I knew the right kind of needle that it took. I thought it would take a 6 needle, and it made the gigantic thing. I could wear it. I'm figuring I'm going to wear it in the winter, just around the house, or, just in the winter over long another sweater like this, only a bigger sweater. I learned a lot making it. Number 1, don't use this tough, non-stretchy, totally non-stretchy cotton again. And if you do, just do it at small bits at a time. Don't knit all day, into the night, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get it finished because it's going to be hard on your hands, and it is. My thumb especially is just aching. And this morning when I woke up, it was totally swollen up. And I looked at both hands and went, holy cow, I can't knit for a while, and I'm not. I'm not knitting today, and probably not tomorrow. I'm going to give my hand a break. It's going to be hard because the minute I sit down, I automatically want to start fiddling, start doing it. And so, it'll be tough. But anyway, I got lots to tell you about this sweater. Okay, we talked about what it's made out of. Now, the pattern, which is a pearl-based pattern. The right side is pearl. Well, when you go to sew the seam, how do you sew the dang thing? Well, I made this crazy-looking thing on the outside. I thought, well, make it look like a burlap bag or something. Try to pretend like this is what you wanted the seam to look like. An exposed burlap bag seam. And I said, okay, that's the best I could do. I fiddled. Best I could do is this. Later, I thought, a day later in the shower, I thought, selvage stitches. The next time I want to make a pearl-based pattern, when it's all pearl, put a stitch or 2 of stockinette selvage on it. Then you can do the mattress stitch easily, and it'll work out fine. That was a great idea. The sleeves were marvelous. The sleeves worked out good. As you can see, it just went right in there. It's a good pattern for the sleeves. Also, on the shoulders, never again will I do the stair-step bind-off. No. I will just knit up to the height and then put the live stitches on a holder so I can do 3-needle bind-off. You should have seen me picking up stitches from the stair-step bind-off on both sides and then doing the 3-needle bind-off. It was a bear. It was ridiculously hard. And it didn't need to be. I didn't have to stair-step the thing. That's old-fashioned anyway. So next time I do the shoulders different. I do the sides in stockinette. And then, get the gauge right. What didn't I learn on this sweater? Get the gauge right so you don't make a gigantic tent. This is like a 4X sweater. I do not wear 4X, okay? I'm not that big. It's humongous. Other than that, the pattern was great. I'm going to make this again in a different yarn, maybe even wool, so I don't hurt my hands so much. Actually, I found another cotton that I like that isn't hurting me, but it hurts. Anything hurts right now, so I can't do it. That was my lesson, hard-learned lesson, that sweater. Plus, I have nothing to wear for summer. I can't wear that for summer. Jeez. So I started another pattern. Started making this. Only I thought, I'll be so bored with just plain stockinette. So I put a little cable up the front. I put a staghorn cable up the front. It's a 6-row repeat. I put it out on my little piece of paper here, and I move my post-it up down with the each row so I don't get it wrong. And I used a cotton called Barocco Remix. It's got nylon in it. It's cotton and nylon. So it has a little silk and some other little thing to make it, look cute. But the main thing is cotton and nylon. It's not, and it's only 27% cotton. So it's cotton for the summer. It's lightweight, but it won't hurt me as much after my hand gets well. Anything hurts me right now. Ooh, I just want to start knitting, but I can't. So that's what it'll look like on this kind of pattern. So it's just a basic tee with this on the front and the back. This is the back. This is as far as I got. As far as, my hand swelled up today when I woke up this morning. Wow. It's good stuff. It's a little bit expensive. Like 200 yards costs $11. And for me, it takes around 6 balls of this to make a nice thing. Around 6, maybe a little less. Well, it's kind of expensive, but yarn's always expensive nowadays. And I got more colors. So I can make other ones. I might even make that pearl thing with the nice yellow. So here's what it looks like, remix. I'll read exactly what's in there. It has more nylon than it does cotton. Oh, hot dog. And some acrylic and some silk and linen. Tiny bit of linen, 9%. But it's 30% nylon. Excuse me. My goodness, what a rude person. And here's the other color. That'll be nice, won't it? And I sent away, excuse me, for some black also. This is sort of a brownish tweed. What is wrong with me? So, that'll be nice. I figured in the next few days I'll be just going crazy trying, keeping myself not knitting, that I'd try some dyeing of yarn. I've watched, maybe 25 or 30, a lot, of videos on the YouTube about dyeing with Kool-Aid. I've watched it dyeing with everything, but I thought Kool-Aid would be the safest thing, the less messy, poisonous thing I could do. So I bought a bunch. I already had this in my stash, and I went out and bought some sock yarn and another worsted weight. The sock yarn, that'll be fun. And I learned how you're supposed to take it apart and make long skeins, wind it on your elbow and your arm like that. Make these long things. Put it in the water and then dip your stuff. I looked for Kool-Aid, and this is not 1950 anymore. Not every parent gives their kid Kool-Aid, thank the Lord. Mine did, because it was cheap, That was what we were getting. If it's cheap, that's what my mother was giving us. But, so I went to a bunch of stores, and it either didn't have it at all, or they had one flavor, red. I'm not into red yarn that much. But I went to, Walmart. Walmart parents, people that shop at Walmart still give their kids Kool-Aid. They had all of it out. They had every flavor you could have. There must have been 15 flavors out there, so I got a ton of it. I got 2 cherries. This blue raspberry lemonade, that's blue, and then you mix a little lemon lime and make it green. That's what I want. I want green. So I got all these ones. They had purple, but when I saw the purple, I can make purple with the blue raspberry and the cherry. But when I saw purple on the YouTube, I mainly saw brownish purple. That's not a pretty color. Well, anyway, I have plenty to experiment with, and that'll keep me busy. It'll be fun. And then I signed up on Craftsy to learn their version of dyeing yarn. I've never been interested in before, but now I am because I can't knit. I've got to have something yarny to do, and that's all I care about. Do I have any more knitting to show? No. I would like to knit this eventually. This is a Knitting Pure and Simple pattern. She's a great Diane Susie. She's local here. She lives in Nevada someplace, or Truckee or something. And she makes these patterns that are really easy, simple patterns. They're not complicated. And you can doctor them up any way you want. But I do want this, and it's made with fingering weight. So I thought that would take a long time. So this would be like a long-term project, a fingering weight top. I have quite a bit of fingering, and I have a blue and a red in enough to make a whole sweater like that. I have a turquoise blue and a pretty red, different colors of red mixed together, make it more interesting. So I thought I'd do that eventually. I've been looking at yarn and touching it, but not knitting. So hard to do. I bought some yarn before all this happened. I bought some cotton yarn, some really, really unflexible cotton yarn, inflexible, from another podcaster. She's a lovely lady I met through the podcasting, and her name is Mars. But her podcast name is Brownberry. She's a really great gal. She lives in Florida. She's beautiful. She's got 2 kids, a nice husband. She goes all over with her sales job, I think she has. So she goes all over her area, sometimes up into like New Jersey and stuff, so she can wear her hand knits up there. She can't wear them in Florida. It's too warm of a place. Her name is her podcast is the Brownberry Chronicles. It's really good. I would recommend it. But I also would recommend this lady who's very low key. She's from Denmark, and she has the No Name podcast. That's the name of it, the No Name podcast. She lives in Denmark. She makes the cutest stuff, especially baby clothes. She's a sweet girl. I would recommend the No Name podcast. If you haven't watched it, I love it. She's kind of a serious person. She's like opposite of Mars. Mars is very, outgoing and colorful. And this other lady's more serious. But she's a great knitter, too. Other podcasts I love. Well, I love the one everyone loves. It was the Grocery Girls. Oh, they are fun. They are 2 interesting people to watch. I like this one called, I think her Ravelry name is Petty Skim. Something like a Petty's Kim or something. But she's the Nomad podcast. Oh, she's so good and funny and nice. I would recommend the Nomad. And she says calls herself the Nomad podcast because her crafting is all over the place. She goes all over the place like a nomad, She's great. Please try her out. Oh, she's really fun. I like her a lot. Okay, so, that might be all for today. My reading is about Norway, of course. I'm reading Norway folk tales. But I haven't got into the tales yet. I'm still in the beginning where they talk about the cosmology of the Norway gods in the old days. kind of hard to get through, but I'm getting through that, and then I'll get to the tails, which are also Viking tails. These are Norse Viking tails. And that'll be about all for now. You know, I think I'm going to wait 2 weeks to podcast. So I want my hand to really get well, and then I'm going to treat it much better. I'm not going to be mean to this old hand. This hand needs to knit. It hurts right now. It hurts, especially in the thumb right in there. Oof. Oof. My husband used to get this. He was a grocery clerk when he worked. He used to get this from the cash register. The pain in there, but I got it from the knitting. All right, it's great talking to you, and take care of yourselves, and be happy, and be knitting, and I'll see you in 2 weeks this time. Bye.